Okay, so it seems like we have a little bit of a situation going down at the moment, and this is a pretty big one to do with Culture. Now, if you don't know, Culture are a kind of, I guess, like merch kind of site, and they put here that they're artist-owned, partnered brand making anime merch and OC content. So a lot of what they do is obviously make merchandise in the VTuber community for a lot of VTubers, and they've worked with many people, including like Cottontail and a lot of people of that caliber, and also some smaller creators as well, which is great to see. But it seems like they're in big trouble, as recently they've been called out, and if you don't know, if you go to their website right now, they're indefinitely closed to fulfill all current pending orders, and that's what it seems like their Twitter has been about recently, saying that they switched to like a new support email, and they've been posting a lot of them filling up crates of like postages and stuff to get their merch out. It seems like they've been working on it, right? But it seems like recently some posts and some Google Docs, yes, we got more Google Docs, have actually come out, and it's a pretty big one. So obviously, first of all, it all comes from this one post, and all of the people quoting it have actually kind of responded to this one post here, and this comes from someone called Cantasy. Now, obviously, they say, I hate to be the person that calls out, but my PayPal protection expired and I want a refund. I pre-ordered a Ray Bubbles hoodie from Our Culture in November of 2023, which is quite a long time. Well, no, that's a very long time. That's a ridiculous amount of time. They say only to receive a label print notification in July of 2024 with no update past that point. It has been well over a year since my label was printed and the package was never dropped off at the post office. I've emailed them over 10 times in the past 2 years asking for updates. I have reasonable suspicion that the label printed was so it was marked as fulfilled in the back end of their site to avoid e-seller penalties. The few responses I did get, I was told my package was never shipped because they never received the merchandise from the factory. But why would you print a shipping label, effectively starting the shipping process for merch you claim to not have yet? And then they say, not only this, but I know that claim to be untrue because I've been to their booth at conventions and seen the merchandise being sold there. People in Ray's Discord have purchased the exact hoodie in person, and an employee has actively tried to sell me the sweatshirt at one con. I informed them that I actually pre-ordered it and I'm still waiting, and still the issue went unresolved. I can't even send emails anymore because their inbox is full. I have seen countless other complaints similar to mine. People noticing the brand is prioritizing their in-person sales over their pre-orders. This is honestly just so frustrating. I tried to request my refund privately and professionally, but I exhausted all my avenues for that, so now I have to make a post publicly. So yeah, obviously they put their order number there as well, saying please refund my order. Now this is obviously a call out to Our Culture, because it seems like not only have they taken a ridiculous amount of time to fulfill a pre-order, like let's be real, you can have a ton of orders and be really busy, right? But, I think, waiting since 2023 in November is a ridiculous amount of time to make a hoodie. Like, let's be real. And obviously, it seems like they still have not managed to get that to them. And when they actually ask for a refund, they're not providing that refund, which is, again, ridiculous. Because, yeah, I would ask for a refund too. If it's been that long, it's been, over 2 years, I would be also asking for a kind of, refund. And obviously, you can see here, these are the hoodies. That's the hoodie that they wanted. And some people were getting at conventions, but they weren't fulfilling the pre-orders. Now, there's been a ton of quote retweets from a ton of other VTubers, the biggest one being Captain Hannah, who obviously has worked with them, I'm pretty sure, as well. And yeah, they say working with Our Culture, and then they put out a Google Doc. Now, thankfully, this isn't 50 pages long. Thank you, Captain Hannah, for the not 50-page long Google Doc. Like, I swear to God, like 50-page ones are way too long. But they've nicely condensed it down here, and yeah, let's just go through it. They say, since the door is open, I will be speaking on my personal experiences with this situation, aligning my situation with other VTubers involved. This feels like only a course of action for me, since I've reached out many times within a large time frame with little success. So yeah, we've got 3 or 4 VTubers, right, who have actually responded to this with a Google Doc, and I think a lot of what is said in a lot of them will kind of add up and will kind of cross over, right? They say, first of all, I'd like to apologize to all of my viewers who graciously purchased merchandise to support me. I had no idea it would end up with an outcome like this. I'm going to be as thorough as possible so no one is left in the dark, even though I was and frankly still am in the dark. But I will provide all I can on my end to the absolute best of my ability, which again is great. They say, about a year and a half ago, I released merch with Our Culture. Our plan and evaluation of the merch line began in February 2024. Around May of 2024, we announced the merch drop, and I went live with the announcements, and seemingly everything went well. I said, however, over the course of that time, I had been receiving many comments on multiple platforms about the orders not arriving or coming up missing. As this was brought to my knowledge, I would reach out to them multiple times and actively ask on behalf of my viewers about the orders and the comments that I was seeing. I would be soothed time and time again about the orders getting fulfilled, but it seemed to me that the amount of comments I would get from viewers outweighed the outcome. I believe this was just an attempt to pacify me. So yeah, obviously this is them talking to Aruna Riva, who is obviously within what do you call it, Ara culture, working with them. Obviously, it's literally the mascot on the page there. And yeah, you can see here, this is them talking to some of the people at Ara culture as well. Saying just checking all of this, and this is them soothing them. Obviously, this is all just proof, and again, I'll probably leave a link to all of the Google Docs so you guys can go and read them back yourself to read the evidence in full. They say, dating back to the very first pre-order launch, I'd be pinging the RO Discord server and eventually pinging in the DMs about the orders people were not receiving. I believe that these screenshots are not the only times I've reached out, not including my mods reaching out personally and my viewers reaching out to my mods for answers as well. My mods would receive multiple DMs from viewers asking for help, and I was the one to pass along that information to Ara when the client's emails, DMs were not responded to. The responsibility fell upon my moderators, and which I did not agree was our job to do so. I cannot speak for others, but doing so resulted in incredible anxiety and strain upon myself each time it was brought to my attention. I personally did not have any answers for anyone since I do not work for Ara and have no business in any of their activities, right? So yeah, I mean, that's 100% true. You know, obviously she's worked with them, but obviously she is not an employee at Ara, so she can't exactly give them like a concrete answer, right? Apart from obviously go to Ara themselves and be like, hey, I've got a lot of viewers that are saying they're not getting their stuff. And, you know, obviously then they provide their own reasons, and obviously that's where it becomes a little bit of an issue, right? Let's say after a decent amount of orders that were reported to them, my moderators generously put together a spreadsheet for this company and input my community members' missing and unfulfilled orders. So the mods actually went ahead and did their work for them, essentially, in gathering a list of people that were unable to get their merch, right? They say, as far as I can personally see, I believe it has been updated / being updated as time goes on. And according to my mod, this number has grown to from a few to like 300 plus. Damn, that's crazy. 300 orders, I'm guessing. I don't know if that's orders or people, but again, yeah, that's a lot of merch, you know, missing. So I've also attached these screenshots of when I was asking many times about the orders, since I had mentioned I was getting comments on my tweets and in streams of viewers not getting their merch at all. I feel like the viewers were inclined to message my mods and make comments about their missing orders since they were asked to DM Ara Culture and email them. However, that was to no avail, so they felt like inclined to reach out directly to me or a mod. So yeah, obviously they're saying like Ara Culture were not really responding too much to their messages, right? So they felt like the next best thing was to go to Hannah and her mods, right? Which is perfectly understandable. However, I did not have the information to give them, unfortunately, which resulted in me feeling incredibly guilty and confused since I was not getting the answers when I personally asked many times. At this point, I had sent them the document and asked for updates on those orders. Again, these are all the documents, and you can see it goes up to 318, which is pretty crazy. And you can even see this is one of them. It's lost in transit, lost in transit, lost in transit. Show is in transit, will ship on Monday. Order packed, ready to ship on Monday. Order missing, printed on accident, lost in transit, order not printed. You can see there are so many different reasons as to why they have not been sent. They say shirts were delivered, other half not received, packing now, car mats received packed. So again, obviously it's not great. They say, to my knowledge of the document of orders, out of 300 lines of the orders, there are 7 that are green. So only 7 people received their merch. On other occasions, I would receive replies such as these, whereas I wasn't quite sure how to respond and frankly made me feel a bit uncomfortable in a conversation regarding business. I felt like I was caught a bit off guard. I unfortunately did not have any resolutions for them. They say, oh yeah, okay. So essentially they've been talking about business and stuff and said checked all the orders, you know, bought all the orders. Again, they're talking about it. And then this person just goes ahead and goes, one quick update, full list will drop tomorrow. Sorry for the delay. We just got news, and then oversharing a personal family matter, which obviously is not very professional at all, especially as a company that is supposed to be obviously professional. You know, you don't just go, you know, dump information about your family or whatever is going on in your personal life. Like, obviously it sucks if whatever is going on, but it's not for Hannah to deal with. You know, go talk to a friend, go talk to a family member, right? So yeah, a bit weird. So also, I've not received. I believe that after the first initial payment of the pre-ordered merch, which was July 2024, I've not received any payments after. Whether that fell upon me to ask manually to get paid. In the partner Discord, it states that we should ask Aruna for our payouts manually, which I find very odd. I'm unsure if any other businesses run in a similar way or if it was business alone, but I thought it would include this. Which again, yeah, that is extremely weird. You know, usually a lot of payments, at least with companies that I have worked with, a lot of payments get sent out automatically, and then sometimes you can actually ask them to send it out manually if you want it earlier, or maybe, you know, something's come up so you want to, you know, get it out a little bit earlier, right? And obviously most of the time they'll be happy to do that. But again, that is not the case here. It just seems like you just have to ask them manually. That I'd like to be paid the remaining balance owed, even if the amount is marginal. But at large, I just wish for my viewers' orders to be fulfilled or refunded. They said, I'd like to add that this document should come to no surprise to the parties involved, as I stated that my hands were tied in this situation, while saying that I personally had positive experiences with them as people, especially having such great times at meet and greets and cons. But the business actions were not reflected positively. I've enjoyed every second of the meet and greets that were provided by them. I loved meeting everyone. I'll never take that for granted. So a lot of the personal kind of events and stuff at the cons were fine, but it seems like the actual business side of things are not good. I received an update on the orders last night. I personally would love to see all the orders fulfilled. However, I only believe that I received this message due to the pressure that was put on them publicly, and I'll simply believe it when I see it. So yeah, obviously, you know, they've been, this is obviously as of today, so they probably saw the Fantasy post here, which was released yesterday, and they probably sent out a message to a lot of these people being like, we're trying to get them out, we're going through all of them, we're going to fix it, which again, obviously, as she says here, you know, we'll believe them when we actually see this happening, you know. It said, the takeaway, at the end of the day, please know that I'm not trying to cancel anyone whatsoever. I do not wish to burn anyone to the ground. I understand that the owner has been going through a rough time mentally, and I feel deeply for him, and I wish nothing but the best with his family and personal issues. However, I just want accountability and concrete proof that the orders are fulfilled accordingly or given refunds effective immediately. So it said, I think it's safe to say this is my official announcement. I'll no longer be affiliated with this brand. My community's trust and money is not something to be toyed with, which is great. You know, it said, my conclusion, it said, it makes me absolutely ill and riddled with anxiety as I type this, but I fear that my hand is forced due to so many orders coming up missing, which again, yeah, she's totally in the right of releasing this document, you know, because that is a lot of orders that are missing. They said, to my viewers, once again, I feel a sense of ownership as my name and face is on the merch. I sincerely apologize to who placed an order to support me. I'm sorry you had to feel like I waited too long to step up for the bat for you. So again, obviously, yeah, an apology there. Which again, obviously they said they want them to be refunded or fulfilled indefinitely, and it said my merch link to be removed once the site is back up. So yeah, that is the whole document coming from Hannah, Captain Hannah. And obviously it's going to be a pretty similar situation here with Milky VT, who also made a document. Now, obviously, I probably won't go through all of this because it is a pretty long one. Again, it is, well, it's a 9-page one to be fair, but they say this document exists clearly to respectfully share my experiences as a creator. And obviously, yeah, they also go through the same situation, right? The merchandise collected for Milky launched on June 30th, 2024, 2 p.m. PST. So they also had a collaboration. They said fans began immediately purchasing them as shown in the receipts. So you can see there, a lot of people buying their merch. You can see all of the kind of dashboard stuff of the sales too that they were getting in. So they can also see the sales. And then they say further states the payments will be made through the Creator Hub and requested. So again, they're talking about the payment system, which we already went through with the Hannah document. The DocuSign contract, they said, despite these clauses, no full payments were made, convention sales were unreported, and orders remained unfulfilled. When concerned about payouts were raised, Agriculture's messages often deflected responsibility by invoking personal struggles such as mental health issues or vague logistical excuses. So, yeah, it seems like, again, this seems to be a little bit of a kind of trend that is going on here. They seem to be very open with their personal life to a lot of these VTubers, right? And obviously using it as a reason as to why payments and things haven't been made for them. Obviously, they say a breach of contract. They say the contract signed between myself, agreed to pay 25% of the online transactions and convention sales. And yeah, it seems like they haven't really received that either. Now, obviously, they continued to go on, say, at various times, our culture claimed all sales tracked automatically through Shopify and will show on the creator dashboard. However, as shown in the evidence, the dashboard did not exist until October 2024. Additionally, no convention sales were tracked in the dashboard. This contradiction demonstrates a pattern of inconsistent information. So yeah, inconsistent information. They also talk about the dashboard manipulation, say lack of transparency. The creator dashboard was introduced months after the merch launch, and I've seen one very similar to this, so I understand what they mean here. It tells you what they've ordered. It tells you how much profit you're getting from it, how much they're making, right? And they say this means the creators had no way to confirm all earnings for over 3 months. They say originally creators could supposedly request payouts by just DMing our culture and asking for a payout. And they also, it was communicated to creators through a Discord channel labeled payout requests. This channel was later deleted without notice, removing a critical line of communication and the record of payout requests. So yeah, there was a payout request channel in the server, but that was then later removed. And obviously, yeah, I think some people were speculating that potentially that could be due to, you know, payouts not being done or whatever, and they don't really want them to have a track of it. But again, obviously that is just speculation, right? They say even as of 2025, many community members, including myself, have yet to receive items. Our culture repeatedly claims all orders were shipped, but multiple fans reported non-delivery. So this is slightly different, I guess, in the case, because obviously Hannah, they have admitted that orders have not gone out. They've just been kind of deflecting it. Whereas Milky, it seems like they're saying that all the orders have gone out, but they're saying all the orders have gone out, but her community are saying they have not received them, right? And it said, Hello Cutie, just wanted to update you on a few things. Most of the orders have been shipped. There was a delay with one of our suppliers, and the rest of the items did get delivered to us yesterday, and they'll be shipped soon. So yeah, obviously will be shipped soon. They said reach out anytime promise versus real silence. Our culture is often told both creators and customers that they can reach out anytime for updates about orders or delivery times. Public statements and direct messages from the company frequently encourage people to DM or email for help, implying that communication is open and responsive. For instance, on X, the brand states, DMs are always open in the meantime. Please feel free to message me about any issues with your orders. Which again, yeah. They say, however, this promise does not hold true. Multiple community members have documented reaching out several times without ever receiving replies. So obviously, yeah, it seems like they are getting lack of communication in terms of support and everything. And they say reflection and call for accountability. Again, I'm sure this is very similar to Hannah's. They're saying what I'm asking for is simple: ship all pending orders owed to fans, provide payouts, take accountability, and issue a public apology. Yeah, and I think also underneath that should probably be, provide refunds if they want refunds too. Maybe they don't want the merch anymore, especially after everything that's happened. So again, I would also include, want refunds like Hannah had said too. And yeah, they put out a closing statement saying this is not about hatred or drama, it's about accountability and closure, which, yeah, I mean, fair enough. You know, they're all well within their rights to release these, right? Again, we have another one from August Anomaly. They also made one too, and they say, summary, I began discussions with our culture regarding a merch drop in August of 2024. The merch drop went public in mid-December 2024 with no issues. However, as of today, October 7th, 2025, roughly 70% of the orders that include my products appearing on my affiliate portal have not made it to the purchaser. The most recent order was made on January 7th, 2025. For most of these missing orders, the final update was made in mid-April 2025. For most of the, when the shipping label was printed, which again, obviously goes back to Hannah's document, very, very similar, what happened there with the shipping label. And they say, despite several attempts to contact our culture over the last 7 months regarding order updates and my payments, the majority of the community's orders remain in limbo and I have not seen a single cent of my payout. I've also sent our culture extremely cut and dry requests to have orders fulfilled or refunded, and even collected information from my community regarding the orders. Again, like all of the other people, as of now, these messages have been ignored for nearly a month. However, it was only after Cantasy made a public statement on October 5th, 2025 regarding her missing order from Ray Bubbles 2023. Oh, sorry if I called them him, by the way. I didn't really look into who Cantasy was themselves. But again, that's regardless of the point. I said, I am no longer interested in quietly resolving the long-standing issues I've had with our culture as a merch partner. Too many people have been affected. So yeah, they're saying I'm making a statement because I was ignored privately until their business issues were brought up publicly. I care about my community's damn money, and I'm far from the only merch partner who's been treated this way, which is true with all of these accounts. There was another one as well, but again, you can kind of guess this is from Ray. This is from the original person who obviously actually Fantasy tried to buy the hoodie from. And this is also another 10-page Google Doc, which again, they also talk about their experiences too. They say DM conversation showing, they're saying that they kind of worked with them. Says they realized that a lot of their references was being heavily kind of taken from Gorgura artwork for her merch pose. So again, obviously there is some statements of some, kind of similar stuff going on with art, which can make some people feel uncomfortable. Said I didn't want to be accused of copying, but I didn't know how to speak up strongly at the time, so I just went ahead with it. So again, obviously they said this pose might do. Now again, if it's a pose, I don't think it's the end of the world. If they're like straight up tracing it, then yes, it can become an issue. But I think getting inspiration for poses of characters is fine, as long as it's not too one-to-one, which again, it does look pretty similar, but I mean, it's all up to you whether you decide whether that's an issue or not. So when my when my merch launched, I was so proud. But soon after, messages started rolling in saying that it hadn't arrived. So again, another kind of situation of this, and I just kind of want to give you guys a quick rundown of it. So again, obviously, it has had a lot of emotional toll on them as well. Said they felt like it was their fault, which was very consistent with what a lot of the other VTubers were saying as well. So again, yeah, a very interesting situation. Our culture have not responded yet, as this is a very fresh topic. Obviously this post came out a while ago, but the Google Docs which have come out in the past couple of hours. So yeah, we'll have to see if there's any response from them, but it's not looking good. So yeah, no merch is going to all of these people, right? They haven't managed to get a refund. Support is bad. There is potential copying as well of some artwork going on, and that is essentially the roundup of what has been going on over at our culture right now. And obviously I'll keep you guys up to date if there's anything else that does come out, because I'm sure there's probably a couple of other kind of quotes and docs that might come out in the future. But that is all for now. If you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.